Heat is a growing problem in the United States, but really across the world. And people who, let's say, don't have access to air conditioning or can't afford um, to run their AC all the time, have other options. So it's important to be thinking about hydration status, so how much fluids you're taking in, making sure that you're urinating as much as normal, and thinking about access to fans. Fans only work when the relative humidity is actually low, as well as temperatures under 95 or so degrees. And then alternatively, some counties or municipalities offer cooling centers. Usually public places like libraries will be open, but obviously that's just during daytime hours, sometimes just weekday hours. You could potentially think creatively, to find areas like parks. Parks are actually 1 to 7 degrees cooler than areas that have a lot of concrete because the concrete actually traps the heat.
So, here, before we start just throwing shit everywhere.
You can potentially go out earlier in the morning as opposed to the heat of the afternoon. The hottest hour tends to be 4 p.m. And just really trying to make sure you're wearing, light, loose clothing and making sure you're with people so that if you're really starting to, feel the negative health effects of heat, that you can take care of yourself, get indoors, and kind of recover quickly without needing a visit to the emergency room, let's say.
Okay, so usually you do the top first.
So some of the symptoms of heat exhaustion are quite vague, but kind of general fatigue, headache. People might start to get confused or dizzy. Their muscles might start to cramp up, or you feel nauseous. That's really when you need to start getting inside, starting to hydrate. And you can use, cold ice packs or, towels with cold water to really start to cool down. Get, in front of a fan, let's say. Uh, and then when people start to get dangerously hot, that's the severe headache, the, feeling like your heart is racing, vomiting, starting to lose consciousness. That's when you really, really need to seek care and come into, an urgent care and an emergency room.
So, here, before we start just throwing shit everywhere.
We know that older people have more trouble adjusting to extremes of heat. And there are many factors that go into play there, but they're particularly at risk for adverse health effects. One of those that's most common is cardiovascular events. So the events that are most associated with high heat waves are strokes and heart attacks, and then abnormal heart rhythms. And so we see that those patients coming in commonly during heat waves. And so that's why it's important to be very proactive and make sure that there's plans in place for communities so that older patients really can protect their health during these heat waves.
It's only
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download Metro TV Extend sekarang.